Happy Wednesday, everyone, and welcome to the Libra Lounge Strategic Podcast. There's a couple of new things. As you can see, our set is a little bit different. It is getting a makeover. We're not completely done with it, but aren't the pink walls so cute? And this is my first show since I turned the big 5'1", 41. Producer James says he's going to trade me in for a younger version of me. They don't make many like me, James. It take about 50, 60, 70, 100, 1,000 bitches to do what this one bitch can do by herself. So, yes. And this is episode number 97. We're almost at 100, you guys. Are we doing anything? Right now I'll sit here and I'll say we're going to do some celebration for our 100th episode, but then I'll forget and we won't. So, anyways, any show announcements, Producer James?
Not really. Just
if you look us up on Patreon, we're actually getting ready to redo our Patreon packages. We've been discussing that, so we're thinking some really cool things to get you guys to send us money for, and then we'll send you a little something.
Well, it's content, merch, some stuff.
Merch, because you want a T-shirt with my face on it. Like, who doesn't? Producer James, you want one too.
Oh, I'd wear it too.
He would wear it, I think, for Christmas, because now, you can get socks, shoes, ties, everything with like photos of people or of yourself on them.
Do they sell condoms with pictures of people on them? That's about the only way I'd get you anywhere near my dick. So.
But see, people always think that it's me. See, it's him. I'm just loud when I do say things that are derogatory or petty. He's not as loud. So people just assume it's always me. It's that motherfucker over here who's always doing things to irritate me, annoy me, make me act a fool. Then I look like the angry black woman. The white man always trying to bring us down. We can't have nothing. Nothing at all. So anyway, if you are a friend of the Libra Lounge, you know what time it is. It is time for the gab.
We know she has a really big mouth, which sounds kind of dirty, and that's probably true too. Let's gossip. The gab with Keisha.
Look, COVID, you're really affecting my materials for the gab, because with all of these restrictions, celebrities are not doing as much as they used to do, which is making the gab a little bit hard. I feel like when I'm sitting down thinking of things to report or talk about, I'm like, but we've already talked about that. The celebrities are repeating the same stupid things that they've been doing, because it's like we can't go nowhere else. So we still in this one spot, so we're just gonna do that again. But we've got a few things on here for you. One of the things I wanted to discuss, because producer James and I have talked about this, is that a lot of white voice actors who are providing the voice for animated characters of color, are stepping down from those positions because they want those positions now to be filled by voice actors of color. Why? You didn't care last year? Last year you gave zero fucks about it. But now that it's all of this Black Lives Matter and your ass is scared you're going to get fired because people are complaining about that. I know producer James has a lot. I'm not going to even lie. I think the fact that if you are a white voice actor voicing, a black, let's just say a black character, and if I don't even realize that you're white, you're doing a pretty goddamn good job. You should keep your job. Because if you, for example, Cleveland. I thought that was someone that my dad knew. Like, he sounds like someone that my dad grew up with. And when you told me it's Seth MacFarlane, right? No, it's someone else.
No, it's Mike Henry.
I'm like, he is really good. And
he's a nerdy looking white guy too.
But look, I'm sorry. To me, if I get the opportunity to voice a white character and all of a sudden it's White Lives Matter, I'm still keeping my job because I still have bills to pay. But part of being an actor is that you become someone else you're not yourself. So, okay, so Zoe Zeldana, she liked to play every race except for the race that she actually is. She even was as a green person, I don't think she's gonna not play green characters because she's not green.
I think it's one of those things where, like, especially with Cleveland, they a white guy doing the voice of Cleveland and then doing a lot of like really hard black jokes.
Yeah.
I guess all of a sudden now
People are
that's just
offended
wrong.
by it because
Yeah.
they know that he's black, and I'm just like,
But the character
the
of
character
Cleveland Brown
is black. Yes.
and the voice fits him perfectly. Who cares who made the voice?
I'm going to have to agree with producer James on this one because you are an actor. When you are an actor, you are playing the role of someone that you're not, regardless of the color of your skin.
It's the same thing like in Dallas Buyers Club when Jared Leto
Yes.
played a gay guy.
Yeah.
He's not gay, but
Right.
should that role only go to
No,
gay people?
because he's an actor.
Well,
Therefore, he has transformed himself. Look, Jared Leto played the fuck out of that character right there.
Yes, he did.
Really did a good job. So it's one of those things where it's like everyone's so hypersensitive. I gotta say that this one is a little bit silly.
I think it is, especially because it's animated.
Exactly.
It's a cartoon.
Here's the thing: you're not even really supposed to know. You know what I mean? Like who is voicing the actors? You have to put that on the cast list. But I mean,
Well, for a long, long time, you would only ever know a voice actor if it was like a big star.
big star,
right?
exactly.
Which didn't happen very often,
right?
But now, because voice actors and animation has become such a strong medium,
Right.
You learn
Right.
people like Tara Strong. You do learn about Maurice LaMarche, Phil Lamar. You know all these people,
Right.
because they've done a bunch of things and they do voice acting.
See, I mean, and let's take the Boondocks for example. Actress Regina King voices the role of both of the stars, Huey and Riley.
Yep.
They're boys. She ain't a boy. Does that mean she has to quit her job because she's providing the voice for two male characters? You see how it is? It's
Yeah.
like, oh, well, no, that doesn't count. Well, then it shouldn't count the other way either.
Bart Simpson's voice has been a woman his entire career.
I mean, so that's double. Like, she ain't yellow.
Bobby Hill was voiced by a woman too, Pamela Adlon.
So it's like, I hate to go way back. You think about the theater where once upon a time, all of the actors were men and they had to portray women. That's part of being a fucking actor.
Yeah, it's kind of animation. I think should get a pass.
I agree.
Really.
I agree. Now, it's not like when you have what is that one girl's name? I cannot think. Emma Stone. When she and who else was it? I think I want to say it was Scarlett Johansson were given roles that were for characters that were supposed to be of color because they were playing real life roles.
Right.
I think Emma Stone was playing someone who was of Asian descent. Like, man, they really went far left on that one. Like, there's nothing Asian about Emma Stone at all, except for Stone and maybe a Stone massage. That's Asian. I don't know. But it's just like, how did they put that together? Like, I don't understand why they did that.
Yeah, that's
you want someone who's going to bring in the most money, but damn.
Well, yeah, exactly. Well, and in real life, like, you can't get Scarlett Johansson to play a role that would go to Viola Davis.
Right.
Like, then it's offensive because you're putting somebody in white or blackface.
Yeah, yeah.
But cartoons, man.
Cartoons, I believe that cartoons, voice acting, all of that should get a pass. I mean, now that we're sitting here thinking about it, it's making me think of all this silly shit. Just like, okay, the person who provided the voice of Falcor, the good luck dragon, he wasn't no dragon. He's a person. So now we got to find a real good luck dragon to voice the voice of the good luck dragon.
We got to find real made up shit.
Yeah, we got to find
real
real make up shit. Okay, like, here's the meat. Okay, guys. So I want to make a movie, a reboot of the Garbage Pail Kids. Okay. So are all the characters gonna be little people?
Well, I think they'd have to be.
Yeah, they kind of do.
But
But
The Hobbit. was not
Y'all
played by
know
little
that.
people.
Okay, now look, Elijah Wood is short, but he's not Hobbit short in real life, and you know damn well he doesn't have big ass feet like that. It's when it starts, when people's beliefs start affecting the arts.
Well, then you get like the Oscars, who have a new rules that says to be Best Picture, I think you have to have so much diversity here. You must be telling a story of certain, I think, either racial importance or societal importance. Like you start, yeah, you start making art have to like check the boxes. I don't think it's art anymore.
Then you take away from art. It's just not art, All right, moving right along to art. Khloe Kardashian and that forever changing fucking face of hers. I mean,
that's somebody who should like secure an actor to play them, because it's pretty much a cartoon character now.
I mean, it's so bad that now her fans are even turning on her. Like, you don't even look like Khloe anymore. And she actually posted a video to Instagram, and she's in this bodysuit, and she's walking away, and that butt looks like she has on a very used adult Depends. Like, it doesn't look right at all. I'm just like,
was it like saggy, or was it like misshapen?
It's misshapen. I don't know who did that plastic surgery, but the butt needs a little bit of help. But basically, Khloe Kardashian has confirmed that she is back with her baby daddy, Tristan Thompson. So, which is fine. Okay, that's fine. We all know that. Knocked my mic off. About to get a notice from producer James. We all remember the cheating scandals, not one, not two, but 3 cheating scandals with Tristan Thompson. The last one being a kiss that was shared between he and Jordan Woods, who used to be Kylie Jenner's best friend, and she was really close to all of the Kardashians. They tried to end that girl. This is what I don't understand about women. They wanted to end that girl. Okay, they didn't want her to work. They didn't want her to be on planet Earth anymore. But it's okay to have Tristan Thomas and his fucking koala bear looking ass be that part of the family. Why do women do that? Why? I don't get. Like, if you're going to forgive the guy, forgive the girl too.
Out of a world of 8 billion people, right. I don't know why people give them that chance again, or just that. Why is it that important?
I mean, my thing is that, yes, okay, you can forgive a person, and once you forgive a person, you can choose to continue to have a relationship with them or not have a relationship with them. But it's like, why is it that the dicks always win and the vaginas always have to lose? You know what I mean? I think that I don't know. It's just kind of sad that they just...
See, and if you talk to a dude will say, man, the women win all the time.
No.
Each of us look at the other thinking they're getting a better deal.
No, we have to walk around with a fucking scarlet A on our foreheads for the rest of our lives. And Tristan Thompson just keeps on dicking down.
Eating eucalyptus.
Yes, and spreading, what is it that koala bears have? Gonorrhea, or is it syphilis?
Oh, yeah. One of
those. Because he looks like a koala bear. I'm sorry. Like, I'm just like... If koala bears ever became humans, there's the prototype right there with Tristan Thompson. So, yeah, am I glad that they're back together? Look, if it makes you happy, Khloe, absolutely. But I do think you guys should give Jordan another chance, too, if you're going to let Tristan Thompson and his... We only know of 3 times that he cheated. I'm sure there's been more. So, I mean, y'all give Jordan another chance. That's all I'm trying to say. So I was thinking, I was scrolling through Facebook, and this question always pops up about fictional characters' deaths that just rocked you to your absolute core. Okay? I've got some. One of them being the book, not the book, but it's a book and a movie, The Bridge to Terabithia. They ain't have to do that little girl like that. They did not let, like, I feel like she didn't have to die. What was her name? That's one of my favorite movies, and I cannot think of the name of any of the people, the characters right now, okay? But they didn't have to let that little girl die. Look, y'all could have okay. Here's what could have happened. She was on the rope. If you've seen this movie, you know what I'm talking about. They used the rope to cross the little. It wasn't a river. It was kind of like a pond
It was
ish
it was a ditch. It was a
ditch,
ditch.
but it's a big ditch.
Mm.
And they would, use the rope to cross that so they can go over to Terabithia. Well, during the time, what was her name, producer James?
Anna Sophia.
That's the actress. What was her?
Oh,
Who?
Leslie Burke.
Yes, Leslie. Okay. So the day that Leslie decided to go by herself, because what's the little boy's name?
Jesse.
Jesse, thank you. Because Jesse went to the museum with his girl crush teacher, and the pond, the little river, I don't know what the fuck that was high, and she drowned. I mean, y'all could have just let her fall and maybe land on her neck, and she could have been a quadriplegic all her life.
Well, you got like 1,000 mythical creatures like right across the creek. Why can't one of
Why
them
couldn't
help
one
her?
of them save her?
I mean, they were real, right?
Yes, I don't.
Okay.
That one rocked me too. That was one of the ones that I was like, wait. No, she's not dead. She's not dead. Like, really, I was in denial in the movie theater. And I kept waiting at any moment. I'm like, okay, she's going to come back to life in Terabithia. They didn't even let her come back to life in Terabithia, the fictional place where nothing's really real. I thought for sure her ghost would haunt Terabithia or something like that.
Thought it'd be like Pan's Labyrinth.
Yes.
Where she comes back as a princess or something.
That one rocked me to my core. It's another character. Of course, Sirius Black in Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. Y'all just can't let Harry have nothing. Y'all just don't want Harry to have a family. He finally hooks up with his godfather. His godfather gets out of prison, and he's getting ready to, hey, I have a parent. This is the person that my dead parents, the ones who died by the hands of Voldemort, they wanted me to be with him. This was their best friend. Then y'all let him die too? By his cousin, Sam? That one shook me to my core. I was sad that Sirius died, but I was heartbroken for Harry. Oh, I boo-hooed. How about you, producer James? Because you cry now at your movies.
Well,
300.
Yep. When Leonidas died, that crushed me. Even knowing the story.
Yeah, okay, so you knew the story. You knew he was going to die.
I mean, you read Harry Potter.
Actually, I had not read The Order of the Phoenix before I saw the movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Leonidas for sure. I mean, Old Yeller, it's a dog, but that dog dying just crushed me. And there was
Where the red fern grows.
Well, God, yeah.
That was a double whammy.
That was a double whammy. The only other movie that really affected me long term was Fried Green Tomatoes.
He always talk about that goddamn scene with that old lady on that suitcase.
She didn't die in the movie, but man, when she's sitting there on that stump, basically saying they took my house,
that one really gets.
Man, it hits me. I don't know why.
Yeah, it gets them good.
You know what one recently really hit me?
What?
When Rambo's what is his goddaughter or when she died.
Yeah.
That was like I didn't expect that. I didn't see that one coming.
I just feel like if I'm Sly Stallone, I'm at least 70. I gotta drive, not even take a flight. I gotta drive all the way to Mexico. I gotta kill people, a lot of people, to rescue this girl who's not really a blood relative. I get her. We're on the way back. We somehow made it through customs, with a doped up girl who was half dead in my truck.
This old man with a doped up girl kind of,
and then she just dies. And I'm like thinking, I know Sylvester Stallone got some adrenaline in the back of that truck that he's about to get that needle, go and bring her back to life. But she just died. It was like an empty feeling. It's just like all that happened So this bitch died? I'm like, bitch, you gonna live. You at least about to live until we make it to the house. Like, you're not going to die. Did he have a dead person's head in the truck too? It
On the
was
way
it was
back.
it was a lot. It was just, I felt something. And there's something about old men being sad that just is so heartbreaking. Case in point, Secondhand Lions. Has anyone seen that? When the
Oh
no
yeah,
one's seen that. Yeah.
I've seen clips,
Yeah.
but I was thinking $1 Million Baby. As far as like old man sad, like
That is one that had me fucking depressed. Like, I can't really watch it anymore. I've watched it 3 times. It's such a great movie. But oh my god, he's so heartbroken that you feel it to your core.
I just found a list, and
Okay.
I don't want to go through all of them, but I'm gonna hit the ones that really got me, and I didn't know they did until I just read it. John Coffey from The Green Mile, Stoic from How to Train Your Dragon. The second one, did you ever see that one?
I think I only watched the first.
The Iron Giant. When he
Vin Diesel plays the Iron Giant.
right,
Yes.
yeah. So and I'll give you my last one, Logan Wolverine from Logan. That fucked me up.
You took all the medicine. No, yeah, bitch, to save y'all little badasses. He took all of the medicine to save all these kids that are not even his kids. You might be his kid. Yes, that was horrible. We were in the movie theater crying.
Yeah, that was rough.
Wolverine is not supposed to die.
Well, and not like that. Well, like what got me was like right when he's just about to die, because he's never died.
Yeah.
Like he.
I mean, he died. Like they killed the fuck out of him.
As soon as he said, "This is what it feels like." Oh.
Yeah.
Heartbroken.
Yeah. Heartbroken. So since we've depressed you for this evening, we're going to take a break and we're going to be right back and we're going to have the Queen of Versailles herself, Miss Jackie Siegel. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Libra Lounge with Keisha. I am so excited that I get the opportunity to interview the Queen of Versailles herself, Miss Jackie Siegel. Hi, Jackie.
Hi, I am so excited to be on your show. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Okay, so the first time that I watched Queen of Versailles, and there's this part where David describes you, and I said, you know what? That is my white spirit animal. She is my white spirit animal.
What did he say about me? I forgot that.
It was kind at heart. What else was it, producer James? Because he looked at me, he's like, "Oh, that sounds like someone I know." Then you had the dog in your lap on its back. You were relaxed.
I think he said he considers me like one of the kids. I think he said.
I think my husband does too. I actually have an 18-year-old daughter, and I think I always tell people she's more mature than I am. She was born at the age 35. Yeah, like she's just mature. Okay, so. So
I'll tell you one thing. My husband, he's we're 30 years apart in age. And he had 6 kids before I even met him. And they're all older than me, so maybe he does think of me.
No, all of them. I didn't realize all of his kids were older than you.
Yeah, all of them.
Oh wow! And I didn't realize it was 6. For some odd reason, I thought it was 4. Huh.
Well, 4 naturally, and then he raised. He has 2 stepdaughters.
Okay.
But he considers them, his, because I mean he raised them.
Okay.
And yeah, and then we had 7 together, and we adopted 1.
Right.
So we have 8 together.
So does is it Jacquel, your niece?
Jacquel.
Does she still live with you guys?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Good.
Yeah. She actually likes it, living here.
I bet she does.
She said it's much better than being with a homeless mom on a park bench.
I bet so. So Jackie, let me ask you, what were you like as a child?
I was actually shy, and but I always had like a little bit of adventure in me, like wanting to explore. But also I was practical. Like I knew, like I was a hard worker. I used to like have garage sales and anything to kind of make money. like
Right.
babysitting, shoveling people. I grew up in upstate New York, like so shoveling snow, like
Mhm.
on people's driveways if it's snowed, you know, just trying to be innovative, in that
Right.
way,
And I
and,
think when people
independent.
I think when people see the Queen of Versailles, they are surprised because they have seen this image of you, and then we watched the documentary, and we're like, okay, she's a total girl boss. You're college
Hmm.
educated, worked in corporate America, and then you
Hmm.
decided to become a model. So, how much do you think that the modeling industry has changed from when you first got started?
Well, um, back when I was doing it, it was like it was kind of like you're lucky to get a job, like and it's like it's kind of spotty.
Hmm.
But then if you get like one great job, all of a sudden you could be a supermodel.
Right.
But it's like kind of, but that's like one in a million.
Right.
So, um, but I think with all the um, like extra TV shows or
Hmm.
Hulu and everything, there's a need for more and more actors and people modeling and doing commercials. So I think there's a lot more work with so many different avenues out there. I
Right.
mean, back when I grew up, we only had a couple stations, and I mean, we didn't even have like remote controls. We had to
Hmm.
go up and actually turn the
I
the
remember those
channel.
days.
We didn't even have cell phones or
Yeah,
laptops. I mean, it
yeah,
was
none of
crazy.
that. Yeah.
So yeah, so now with the change with the information age, there's just a need for more and more people that want to be out there and acting and modeling and one thing, like, so, and I produce beauty pageants.
Hmm.
So I produce Mrs. Florida and host Mrs. America and Mrs. World, um and it works out great for me because I give people opportunity
Right.
to go out there and get jobs and get discovered.
Right.
Like I'm an avenue to get people discovered, basically.
Well, if you want to have anyone discover me, Jackie, I'm totally down with that.
Well, what state do you live in?
I live in Texas.
Well, you got to enter Mrs. Texas.
I might have to wait. I'll have to do the Mrs. Texas plus size version, but
That's
I'm
fine.
totally with it.
Well, I'll create a pageant just for you.
Perfect, perfect. Okay, so let me ask you: when you and David first met, what drew you to him?
No, I wasn't drawn to him. Um,
Okay.
no, I wasn't. No, I was actually going through a divorce and at a very down, like kind of dark time in my life. Like it was and most divorces end up being brutal. You
Hmm.
know, it's just the nature of what they are.
Right.
And I want to date. I didn't want to see any, like meet people or do anything. Um, but I was still running my Mrs. Florida pageant, and one of my winner, it was her birthday, and she's, please come up to my birthday party
Hmm.
to Orlando. I lived in Fort Lauderdale,
Hmm.
and so I did, and I was at the party, and I had little baby Victoria in my arms. I was a single mom,
Hmm.
and my David Siegel walks through the door, and he said he fell in love at first sight.
Oh, I bet he did.
Like he didn't care if I was married or not married. He
Right.
just saw me holding the baby in this little black dress, and he just never stopped calling me, or like just like like he um kissed me on the like when he left, and it's like, oh, okay.
He knew that he
But
had to have you.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then the next day he drove down, he came back over, and then he drove down to Fort Lauderdale when I went back, and it's like, wow, like he's pretty determined.
Hmm.
And so finally, after a month of him pursuing me, I kind of like fell in love with like his love for me,
Right. Hmm. Hmm.
and I saw like the inside, because he was a lot older than me, but like and um and yeah, I just fell in love with person that he was, you know.
Right.
So
Right.
and he actually had a small resort, like, well, he had three resorts in Orlando at that time,
Mm-hmm.
and he lived like in a modest home, a 200 like $30,000 house. So
Really?
yeah, and yeah, so we
Wait a minute.
um
He lived in a little house. And
yeah.
then, because, when we think about the houses you guys live in, we think about, the houses in the documentary. So I'm really surprised that he just lives such a modest lifestyle.
He doesn't. I mean, he still drives a thrifty car. He doesn't.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Gotcha.
yeah. Like
Gotcha.
he doesn't. He doesn't like care about like flashy things. You
Mm-hmm.
know. Um. But so when I met him, like it was just like we just had like a normal life. He wasn't a billionaire or anything back then.
Okay.
And,
Okay.
and we lived in a 3-bedroom house. It was actually 4 bedrooms, but I used one of the bedrooms for a closet.
I knew you were
So,
going to say that because
yeah.
I've seen how you shop, and I'm like, I
Oh,
know she's about to say a closet. So, I
oh my God, my husband's going through my credit card bills right now, so I'm
right
kind of
now.
stressed out.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you tell him that you're on the phone with the president, and he'll have to fuss at you later about the credit card
Yeah,
bills.
right. Thank you.
So, I watched you, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, what was her wedding like? What was your wedding like to David?
Well, it was kind of crazy because it was we had this cocktail like party before the wedding.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, actually, we had just gotten like we actually had the ceremony. Half the people couldn't come because it was like the worst flu of the whole season.
Oh wow,
Yeah, so half the people weren't there, but we invited like 500 people, so we still had like 250 people.
that's
So
a
I mean,
pretty big wedding.
yeah, so it wasn't it wasn't like bad, you know.
Right.
And then so we got married. There's the putting on the ring and the kissing and all that,
Mm-hmm.
and then we sent everyone out by the pool at the resort to have cocktails and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and then we were going to have dinner after. So when they went down for cocktails, we had like this huge sailboat by the pool that we built with a movie screen on it,
Oh,
and
nice.
just showing images of like how when we met and
Mm-hmm.
our lives and all. And but they had like caviar and lobster. It was so extravagant.
Mm-hmm.
And then we and in the meantime, me and my husband were doing our wedding photos, and then we were supposed to meet everyone for the banquet, for the main dinner.
Mm-hmm.
So we get up there, and then another 50% of the people left because they thought that the pool party was the wedding dinner because there was
Oh,
so much
okay.
food.
Okay.
Yeah, so the dinner, like half the people were already gone.
They're like, we were full from just the appetizers. We got
Right,
full
but they
and
thought
left.
they thought that was it. They didn't know that there was another uh, that there was just appetizers.
Right, 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 right.
Oh
So
my God.
I personally have this big obsession with Marie Antoinette. I even have a tattoo of her on my foot. So I
Oh
always
my
told
God.
I
I
do
did a photo shoot of, well, dressed like her.
that's what I
I
want
should
to do. I'm like, I've got to do a photo shoot like that. So
wait.
I'm so
Wait,
fascinated by her.
wait. Hold on, Sherry. My assistant's here. Can you send her the picture of me looking like Marie
Oh,
Antoinette?
please
The one,
do.
the one I did. It's in that big book.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, from Camille, the designer. Oh, you're gonna love it.
Wait a minute. What designer did you just say? Camille? Is it Camille Flawless?
Yeah, Camille Flawless.
I love her dresses.
How do you know Camille?
Well, I don't know her, nor so I was watching a show, and they had one of the actresses had on a dress by Camille. So I went to her website, and my husband was actually in Vegas. I'm like, I need you to go by her shop and see
No
if I can
way.
afford to have any of her dresses. But she's such a fabulous designer. I
She
love her.
is.
So,
Yeah, so I did the most amazing photo shoot with her,
oh, awesome.
and You should send her like all the pictures.
Yes, yes, the more the merrier. So let me ask you. I told my husband, I said, James, I want to live in Versailles. He was like, Keisha, that's not a possibility. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, who the heck is this woman named the Queen of Versailles? I thought I was going to be the Queen of Versailles. And then I watched the documentary. I'm like, but I love her. I love Jackie. Like, how can you not? So let me ask you.
Yeah.
What made you say, okay, we're just going to build our own version of Versailles?
Well, what happened was after we got married, me and my husband, we went on a honeymoon, and it was kind of like a little bit of a disaster.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, because he had gotten the flu from someone from our wedding.
Oh.
And so we had to like we went to the Bahamas at the Atlantis, and so he was so sick, and so we just had to come home, and he says, honey, I'm going to make it up to you. Well, we'll do the honeymoon like next year. And so then we went to France for our honeymoon, and while we were there, we toured Versailles. And keep in mind, we were still living in the 3-bedroom house. And I didn't really have any concept. I mean, I was still driving the car that I owned, that I bought, from before him.
Right.
And it's not like he ever gave me any like big jewelry and stuff. And he was always thoughtful and very providing for me. But I didn't realize like he was becoming so wealthy. And
right.
So he after seeing Versailles, and I actually got pregnant over there.
Nice.
In France on our second honeymoon. That he said, we were on the plane, a commercial flight, flying back to America, and he says, our family's growing. He says, I want to build you a house that can accommodate our family. And he starts drawing it on the back of a napkin, of a little cocktail napkin. And he says, we're gonna have to give it a name. And I'm from upstate New York, and I said, who the hell names like their house?
Yeah. People in the South.
Yeah. So I never heard of naming a house. I mean, and except like the White House, or like some stately
right
homes. And he says, you know what, we just saw Versailles, and that was my inspiration. He said, we're going to call it Versailles.
Wow.
And it's like, well, okay, whatever you want, honey. And so we broke ground, and we just got a nice little piece of land, and then I met the documentary people, Lauren Greenfield and stuff, and they wanted to do a documentary on building the home. We didn't know it was the largest home in America at the time.
It's 90,000 square feet, correct?
Yeah, and it's going to be a little bit more than that, because we've added like other things to it.
So there's enough room for me if I come to Florida, I can stay with you guys, right?
Yeah, okay, in awesome. Fact, we need to keep you on our list when we do the opening of the house.
Yes.
Yeah. We could do another podcast from there.
That would be fabulous. We will come right on to
Texas,
Florida.
You have amazing homes and stuff.
That would be great.
Yeah.
So, Jackie, there's one part of the documentary where you take us inside of a storage unit where you have started buying things so that you can put into the house. And I had my husband watch it last week, and I was just like, I want that. I want that. I said, see, Jackie doesn't just have one of something. I said, it's the same as me, because I'm like, see, James, I'm not the only woman. Like, when you like something, you're like, okay, I want like 2
I gotta
or
get
20.
all of it.
Exactly. So let me ask you this before we go into a break. Outside of your home, what is the most expensive item that you own?
Ooh, maybe a private jet.
I'm willing to bet that probably is it too.
Right?
All right, so we're gonna take a quick break, and we're gonna come right back with Jackie Siegel. Welcome back to the Libra Lounge with Keisha. I have my guest Jackie Siegel, the Queen of Versailles, here with us this evening. So we talked a little bit about the documentary, and during the documentary, we get to meet your whole entire family. We get to meet your pets. Y'all don't need any more lizards nor fish, Jackie.
Oh well, we had a snake in our pool this morning. Actually,
No.
a cottonmouth. Yeah.
Oh, those are venomous, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah, they can
scary.
kill you.
We got to meet your staff and everything. So tell us about each one of your kids.
Well, my son Daniel, he just won the UTV, which is World Championship, which is like utility vehicle World Championship.
Okay,
Like
nice.
those 4-wheelers
Yes.
that people drive around on the trails.
Mm-hmm.
He just got first runner up.
That's
And
awesome.
yeah, and it was his first time racing, and the guy that beat him, he was a 45-year-old man.
And how old is your son?
19.
Yeah.
Or he just turned 20.
Okay.
So, yeah, so and it was his first race. So, I'm really proud of him, and
that's a huge accomplishment.
I almost feel like he should get like someone to sponsor him or something, that can benefit from his success. And
yeah, most definitely.
And he can keep getting better.
Yeah,
because he's very dedicated and stuff. And then I have twins.
Okay.
They're 13 years old. They actually they wrote a little book for teenagers about one of our dogs. It's called Oliver Uncollared.
Oh, cool.
And it's on Amazon.
Okay, so I'm gonna check that out.
Yeah, it's like for teenagers. It's just a fictional book, but all our names are in the book.
Okay,
it's just kind of cute,
that's
easy
cute.
reading, And then, one thing I did do, because there's so many people, like wherever I go in the world,
mm-hmm.
and like I've been to China, I've been to the Middle East and Hungary. People come up to me and they say, "You're the Queen of Versailles, Queen of Versailles." No matter what language, they can still say Queen of Versailles. And everyone always wants to know, like, what happened after the movie, like what happened next. So I do have like I made my own documentary.
Yes.
On my cell phone.
Okay.
So it's not like professionally done. Like I didn't have lighting and mic and all that stuff. But it's for free and it's on YouTube.
And this is the Princess of Versailles, correct?
The Princess of Versailles.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that goes through. It shows how the drug epidemic affected us as surviving parents to a child that died of a drug overdose.
So the Princess of Versailles is about your daughter Victoria, who we all got to meet during the Queen of Versailles. Unfortunately, she passed away. What do you hope viewers take away from watching the Princess of Versailles? Because I have to say, when people think about David and Jackie Siegel and all of these huge accomplishments and the lifestyle, when you hear Victoria's story, I think that so many more people can relate to that. You know what I mean?
And the focus of our life has now changed to saving other people's lives from the drug epidemic.
Right.
And I'm hoping that less and less parents have to go through the loss like we had.
Right.
And so and we're spending that's where our focus with our time and money are right now.
That's
and
right.
we were making great strides because we passed this bill called the CARA Act, which it's like got a big long name, but but basically what it is it got the money from the government to provide Narcan to all of the first responders, such as police officers.
Okay.
So the police officers have been telling me that they use it so often. In fact, in Orlando, they used it over 2,000 times just in the first year that I got the Narcan provided to them. So, so I knew that I was saving lives at that point. And my husband's like, we got to keep moving forward. We got to keep educating people, let them know that about the fentanyl. I mean, I went to speak up in Rochester, New York, at my hometown, and marijuana is probably one of the safest things to do. Like it's a plant. Like it's it's even safer than alcohol. But when it's laced with fentanyl, it can be deadly. And I went up to speak about the drug epidemic and about things getting laced with fentanyl up in Rochester. And the day before I got there, 7 students had died of fentanyl-laced marijuana.
Wow.
And it's just so sad. So, but had they known, and had I been there the day before, to let them know that street drugs are being laced and they're selling things that they're not, like it's not what it is,
Right. Exactly.
Like maybe they'll get like tea leaves, like like with and put fentanyl in it and make you think it's marijuana. You know what I mean?
And it's something so deadly, and they have no idea.
Yeah.
So I watched The Princess of Versailles, and I got to tell you, the one part when you take us into Victoria's room and her shoes are still there, and you put your feet in her shoes. I choked up.
Yeah.
And because you know what? I felt that. I'm a mom. And just that one act, I just resonated because you know what? I'm like, I would have done the same thing. I just, it's just something unspoken. So how do you cope with the loss of Victoria?
Well, it's very difficult. In fact, those shoes are still sitting there. Yeah. And I haven't really allowed anyone to go and clean the room or anything. So everything's basically as she left it.
Right.
And it was tough, but basically the way that I'm coping is by getting out there and talking about it. I mean, when she passed away, it was like headlines, like every news people wanted to talk to me, and like Good Morning America. Our pictures from the funeral were on the cover of the New York Post, everything, but they were all kind of like mocking me, and because back then people didn't talk about drug related deaths.
Well, you know what? So I know you got a lot of heat because people wanted you, I guess, to mourn the way that they would, which everyone mourns differently, but they were kind of vicious. And you're right. A lot of times when someone passes away from a drug overdose, people don't want people to know. But I'm glad that you are saying, this is what happened. This happened to my child. You know what I mean? And you've taken that and turned it into something so big and that saving so many.
Yeah. And also when she passed away, and it was just so sudden. I mean, my husband's Jewish and I'm converted, but like we have to bury the person in 24 hours. So it's not like we really had time to prepare and cope with, how are we doing that?
Right.
And then the press, I mean, they were like mad at me because I took a picture of her casket. But if it was their child, and
people
it was the last
do that
memory,
now, though.
If it was your last, they actually put that picture. They took a picture of the casket too, and they put it on the cover of the New York Post.
Wow.
So I mean, so they're doing it, but it's not okay for me.
Yeah.
And I was taking a private picture just for me to remember
you,
the
exactly
moments before my daughter went into the ground.
Right.
And they were bullying me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, and the bullying is what encouraged my daughter to do the drug overdose. And if she wasn't bullied, she never would have. Well, she could have still died of a drug overdose, but this particular time pushed her to do it. And
that was, she was being bullied by her boyfriend's ex, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Now let me ask you really quickly about that. Since Victoria's death, have you had any contact with her boyfriend?
No, he died of a drug overdose too.
How did I not know that? How soon afterwards?
Like like a year later.
Oh, that's
They
so tragic.
they found his remains. Like he moved up to Tennessee and he got high on something weird and wandered in the woods and passed out in the woods and the animals ate him.
Oh my God. Oh,
Yeah.
that's horrible. So,
Yeah.
do you think that your relationship with your other children has gotten stronger since Victoria passed away?
Well, I want to say yes. I think it's getting stronger now. But there was a time, because I mean we all got our own like depressions and
Of course.
and like I didn't like it was just too hard for me to I don't know, to cope with.
Yeah.
But I say now it's kind of like coming around much better. But I mean, I probably should have gotten recommend anyone that loses a child or a loved one to get like professional counseling. And I didn't, and I feel it would have been very helpful. But I felt that I was like I wasn't going to go and commit suicide or something because of so I felt that I just.
But part of you has to feel, almost dead inside, because we're not supposed to lose our children. They're supposed to bury us. So I can't even imagine. And then you've got the other babies, and you've got to be strong for them, and still be the mom who's out there at the sport events, and being the encourager and things like that. So that's really hard.
Well, yeah, and then when I do go to those events, you see like when, especially like in the beginning when she did. When it was fresh, when she passed away, you see people. Oh, she's the one that lost her daughter. Her daughter was doing drugs, So you have that stigma. But I decided to lift myself up higher and say, yeah. And guess what? Maybe your child's doing it too.
Exactly.
And you need to open your eyes.
Yeah. 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 So what made you decide one day that you're like, you know what, I need to write about this?
Well, actually, the craziest thing, I didn't write about it. My daughter Victoria, who passed away, did, and so it's her book that we published, and I just wrote like the forward, the introduction, and forward, and my husband did too, and she left a diary that no one knew, not even her best friend knew about, and it's a very intimate diary. It has it is unedited. We put like everything in there, and it's just basically copied, like scanned straight from her diary and printed. And she had sent left a message that if she didn't wake up, that she wanted me to print her diary or to publish her diary, and that and where it was, and that she knew like it could help save lives. Wow. And the diary, it's good for people that like, especially during this COVID right now. So many people are falling into depression. And doing if they weren't doing drugs, or maybe they're starting, or the ones that were are doing more. Or drinking more. Their addictions, smoking more. So this in the diary, you could see that she felt isolated, even though it wasn't under COVID restrictions, but she felt like she was just alone in her thoughts that she's not good enough, she's not worthy enough. She's getting bullied. And we, we also get bullied as adults. I mean,
gosh, yes, yeah.
And people talk bad behind your back and this and that. So I mean, it never ends. But it's like a strength that we all have to learn to cope with. And this book can help to let people know that they're not alone with their struggles. And unfortunately, she chose drugs to cope with
everything that was going on.
Yeah. And she died in the end. So hopefully that alone can be some encouragement to some people that read this book, to don't even try it if you have it, and to try to stop if you're doing it.
So what do you wish people knew about Victoria?
Well, Victoria was kind of like she had goals and dreams, and she was like a hippie girl. Like she wanted to fit in, and she was so mad when the Queen of Versailles movie came out, because like she was one of those girls that never wanted like a designer pair of shoes or clothes or anything. She wanted to wear flip-flops and like her own tie-dyed t-shirts to school, and just fit in with like everyone. And when the movie came out and they said, oh, you're that rich girl in that movie, and then all of a sudden the people doing drugs were like saying, hey, buy us some crap, buy us some, like, and yeah, and they'd come over here, and then they were stealing my purses and stuff, like.
So they totally took advantage of Victoria, the family, just because they knew you guys were rich. So with that being said, do you ever wish that you had not done the Queen of Versailles?
No, I don't. No, because for one thing, I didn't know she was doing drugs. I mean, she like could have struggled anyways, but because of the fact that she since she passed away, if it wasn't for the Queen of Versailles, we wouldn't be talking today.
That's very true. And then you're continuing to help others and save lives. What is life now for the Queen of Versailles?
Well, we are finishing Versailles. We just got a new builder as of 3 days ago.
Okay.
And he's determined to finish the house in a year and a half.
Nice.
And we are in discussions now for a TV series.
Okay.
Which I can't mention which network.
Okay.
But it's a cable network.
Okay. Probably one of my favorite channels, I bet. Say that again, Jackie.
What?
Say that again, Jackie.
Well, so it's going to be a TV show based on finishing Versailles.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also I'm going to be on Below Deck in February, and I was also on it last year.
Okay, great.
For the Mediterranean, I was on 2 episodes. So we got a lot of good stuff happening,
So before we finish, can you tell our audience how they can follow you on social media, any upcoming appearances that you're going to make, and also the titles of your books?
Yes. Okay, so my YouTube account, my YouTube channel, the Facebook and Instagram, everything is The Real Queen of Versailles.
Okay. Okay.
The Real Queen of Versailles. And Versailles is Versailles. And then if anyone wants to look up our website for our foundation.
Okay.
Let's see, I just had it right here. Oh, here it is. Because we just got the domain name.
Okay.
VictoriousVoiceFoundation.com.
Okay, perfect. Now, Jackie, I'm going to be looking for my invitation when the house is ready.
Okay, so what you need to do, keep in touch with Sherry, because she's the one that keeps me organized.
But when I come, I want to stay for like a month.
And we'll keep you on the list.
Okay.
Well, you'll love our health spa.
Oh gosh, I'm ready for all of it. I just want to walk around. I want to play with the dogs. I want to go in your closet. All of that. So yeah, I need to be
And
there
my
for like a month.
birds. Yeah,
All
that
because I'm
sounds
an animal lover
fantastic.
myself. Yeah, my husband just told me that I
Oh,
can't bring any more animals home until we move. I'm like, okay, great, Jackie. This has been such a pleasure talking to
well,
you. I can't thank you enough for taking time out of your busy schedule to share your story with my audience. I really appreciate it.
thank you so much, and tell them that I love them all, and I
Okay,
just want to spread positive energy and just to stay strong and continue sharing the love with all their friends and everything.
absolutely. Thank you so much to the Queen of Versailles, Miss Jackie Siegel. Bye, Jackie.
Bye.
Bye.
Bitch, please. You be rolling down the street, telling stories. Bitch, you never tell the truth. Bitch, please. Everybody know you lying, bitch, cause all you do is lie.
I want to thank all of you for tuning in once again to the Libra Lounge with Keisha podcast. I want to remind you to please follow us on all social media brackets, especially Instagram and Facebook, because those are the only ones that I pay attention to at all. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, subscribe to the podcast on iTunes, the TuneIn app, Laughable app, and iHeartRadio. So you guys know it's time for the bitch please of the week. This one right here is something special. I don't even think I want to describe it. I'm going to let producer James play the clip for you guys. So here we go.
Excuse me, I'm part West African. I can say nigger anytime I want. Bye. You need me in the stomach. I want to press charges. Nigga, please.
All right. Okay. Woo.
I feel very uncomfortable right now.
Here's the thing. First of all, this dude looks like fucking Puck from the Real World San Francisco. He looks dirty, unkept. And then part of me was like, okay, wait. He didn't say nigger with the hard R. He said nigga. So, I mean, he could date a black girl. But then he kept going nigga. Okay, look. There's only so many times that you can say it before an ass whooping will occur. You know, and I felt so bad for this woman who's just arguing with him. She is pressed. But then part of me was pissed off at her, like, why are you letting this motherfucker right here really get you out of character unless that really is your character? And then she hit him. Oh.
But why was he wearing a fucking Burger King hat? What the hell was up with that?
That's another thing. It's just like you look at him and you see crazy.
Yep.
I'm not about to argue with crazy. There's no point in crazy. He looked like he spent his life savings on that commercial air flight. So he probably didn't even have a home to go to after he got off the flight. And I'm just like, I'm the black guy with the phone, recording it, laughing his ass off. Because that's what I would have done. But I take that back. I would have immediately asked to be moved because I don't need you to be crazy behind my back. Okay? You can go be crazy behind that white person over there's back. And you can say nigga as many times as you want to, long as you're on that side of the plane and your crazy ass is away from me. But I'm just like, when he got on the plane, was that part of his plan?
Man, I don't think you.
I'm not sure what happened because I've watched the clip, a couple of times. I don't know what led to all the niggerations that was going on. He said nigga more times than any black hip hop artist has ever said collectively. He said it all. Nigga. It was bad. You had to laugh. I couldn't even get mad. I honestly could not get mad. I was like, what the fuck?
So I gotta ask, how many times does a white person have to say nigga before it's funny?
When you get to about the 10th time, it's like, all right, I can't even take you seriously. You know what I mean? Like, there's that. To me, that's when it becomes funny. It's just like when a person goes, "You stupid nigga," that's when you get pissed off because they said at one time it was one shot, boom, I'm coming back. But when you get it to 5 times, like, okay, something ain't right. This is a little bit more than racism. This is a little bit. Did his psychiatrist? Is there a psychiatrist on the plane with a doctor's bag? Because this motherfucker needs a shot.
Like saying it in a sentence. Like calling somebody it, and then like saying it like maybe once or twice.
He wasn't
when
even
you're yelling.
I don't know if he was. I don't know if his goal was to say nigga each for like every nigga in the world. It seemed like that's what he was trying to. That was his goal.
The aisle is just this.
I don't know if he had a clicker like nigga. How many times? Oh no, nigga. Oh, gotta. It was just like. And I guess that's why I was so pressed by the woman who was so upset because it was just like, girl, he is not even worth it. You better sit down, eat your peanuts, order another drink, put that mask back on, and go on about your way. What are the air marshals? Aren't they on every flight?
No, not every flight.
They should have been on that flight, most definitely, because, I mean, he got arrested. They were there waiting for him when he got off the plane. But it was just like, it
really does make you kind of wonder, like, where is, like, every time you hear somebody say, well, somebody said that around me, I just punch him in the face. You think a whole plane full of people, no one thought, let me just go punch this guy just because?
Yeah, everyone wanted to kick his ass. Number one, for when I get on a plane, I'm trying to sleep, okay? And if there is a situation on the plane that awakens me, I want it to be a little bit better than this crazy ass motherfucker said nigga 500 times. I mean, I want it to be a couple break up that, like, I don't know, a guy is on a flight with his side chick, then boom, out the bathroom comes the wife.
With the cart.
Wake me up for that. I want to see how this goes down. That is some action right there.
But you don't want to see the
this
Burger King
motherfucker,
asshole.
I would have been pissed. Really?
Motherfucker, you ruined this whole
You ruined my whole flight nap. Okay.
Got here at 3 a.m.
I took 5 Tylenol PMs for this flight. I wanted to sleep really good, but now everyone has been awoken by your retarded ass. And I'm sorry I said retarded because you're not supposed to say retarded anymore. Yo, stupid ass.
No, Keisha, say it 37 times. Then it's okay. Apparently, we've now found the magic number. Say something 15 times, and it's okay then.
And the thing about it is, after this year, we have heard it all. The last thing that's about to bother me is some motherfucker calling me a nigga 15 times. That's all you got? You went straight to the obvious? Really?
And he really, you know, with a kid, when you're doing the, you're saying something, no.
That was basically it.
That was him. That was a childish fucking shit.
And then you're just like, is he still back there saying nigga? Nigga, please. This is so dumb. Like, it was literally just dumb. I can't, I'm not even offended by it. I'm not offended by it at all. Because I'm like, this person has really lost his marbles. I'm not, no.
Isn't it funny how you don't get offended by crazy?
No, because crazy is just fucking crazy.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah, crazy doesn't care who you are, what you have. They don't give a fuck, because you know why? They're crazy. And that is why this crazy motherfucker gets the bitch please of the week from the Libra Lounge with Keisha. We will see you guys next week.
It's the Libra Lounge. The Libra Lounge. Ooh.